Yo, what up? Today I got another video. It's a little different than the norm. I don't talk about anime a lot on this channel. I usually try to keep it gaming or do gameplays or whatnot, but I'm gonna do whatever I want to do. And today I want to talk about JJK0, aka Jujutsu Kaisen. They recently released a movie in the US, and me and my girl went to go watch it, and yeah, let's get into it. This review will have like no spoilers, like absolute. Okay, so the beginning, I'm gonna summarize my thoughts. That will have zero spoilers, just how I feel about it. Might have a little rating in there, but after that I'm gonna go into a little bit of detail, and it's not story spoilers or whatnot, but I feel like anything about a movie is a spoiler, like, so it's gonna be light spoilers, I'll say that. Like I said, it's nothing about the story, just a little bit of comparisons and some pros and some cons. But so if you want to, I'm gonna announce when I'm gonna do it, so if you want to stick around and hear that part, that's cool. If not, thank you for watching the video, and drop a like. Thank you, see you later. But yeah, so to summarize my entire feelings of JJK0, I enjoyed the movie. I do not think it should have had a theatrical release. I don't think it should have been in theaters. I think this would have been fine just as like a movie you catch on the internet or whatnot. But I know that's the biggest thing now, is to release anime into movie format, with Demon Slayer and Dragon Ball Super being the most successful recently across the globe. But I do think this is an enjoyable movie. I just don't think it's enjoyable enough to have a theatrical release. Now, with that being said, if you're a I think if you're a fan of the show, you're gonna love it or you're gonna like it. I don't think you're gonna hate this movie. If you're not a fan of the show, this will not make you a fan of the show. Unlike Demon Slayer, like the Demon Slayer 2, I don't know why I want to say that. Unlike the Demon Slayer movie, a lot of that movie actually turned people into fans of the show. It was people that liked the show, and it was like, okay, the show is okay, but then they watched the movie, and for some reason it turned people into fans. It was a good movie though. I agree though. It was a good movie. But yeah, this movie, I don't think it really does that. So yeah, that's kind of the summary right there. It's good. I liked it. There's parts I like. I don't think there's nothing I didn't like. There's nothing I did not, just straight up did not like. There's just things that just kind of like, could have been a lot better. And that's the thing. There's things that could have been better. But overall, the movie is good. And if I had to put a rating on it, I kind of like to say like a low and a high or a mid. So like, for example, like something that's like a high 7, low 8, you know, that's kind of where I'm coming from. It'd be like a 7 or 8, or a high 7, low 8, or high 9, almost 10. I would give this like a regular 7. I think it's a 7 out of 10, and I really enjoyed it. But if you want to hear more, here it comes. Slight spoiler territory. Not going to get into story spoilers, but just overall pros and cons, and how things I feel like could have been a little better. So yeah, that's your warning. And so the pros, it's the fights. The fight scenes are done very well. They fight a lot in this movie. I really enjoyed the fights. The animation is great. It's not like Demon Slayer great. Honestly, it's on the same level as the anime. It doesn't do anything too much different than what you've seen in the anime. If you already seen the anime, you already know what you're looking at. Some good, dope fight scenes. And it really does that. It really captures the manga very well, or just fights in general. It's easy to follow, and the impact is great when the hits are made, and it just really does well. The animation overall is just good. I mean, it'll be crazy if they made a movie and the animation is worse than the anime, right? Yeah, the animation and the fight scenes are really good, and they fought a lot. That's what I like. I don't like to see an anime and they're not, well, a shonen anyway, and they're not hooking 24/7. I'm joking, but no, a lot of fights and they look good. The characters that they focused on, I'll say that. It's another pro. Good characters. You got Gojo, if you've seen the trailer, and then you got like a new character they introduced who's kind of the main character. I think they did pretty well with all the characters. I don't think they did like a phenomenal job. And to be honest, they don't really do a phenomenal. So I think they did a pretty good job with the characters. They didn't do anything I didn't like, or I don't think they could have. They are, I guess, yeah. The characters are good. I feel like there's things that I can say about the characters, but then I guess that kind of goes into like story, because that's one of the cons on this, but we're gonna get to that. The comedy, there's slight comedy here, and it's the comedy you would expect from JJK, and I think it's pretty funny. It's not like laugh out loud, like tear crying funny. I don't think anime does that. Well, at least not the shonen anime, but it's like clever comedy. You know, you kind of like, I don't know, it's a weird kind of comedy that I like. Like I don't know, it's weird. Comedy's good in my opinion. It's not for everyone though. I'll say that. You might not laugh in this movie, but I chuckle, and that's really where the pros end. I mean, because the movie's not very long, and there's not too much to this movie, and that's kind of one of the cons. So I'm gonna just pop off with the story. The story is not that good, but it's not bad. It's I'm not gonna get into the details, but it's weird because Demon Slayer doesn't have like a good story, or like the movie doesn't have like a very intricate story, and Dragon Ball Super Broly doesn't have like a very intricate story, but I enjoyed those movies more. Maybe because they did other things better with the characters and the time they had. I think they did when it comes to Demon Slayer. I think when it comes to Rengoku, he didn't get a lot of screen time, but I don't know, for some reason they made him really likable. And you know, they already had the original 3 main characters in Demon Slayer, and you know, we don't really need to see much of them, but I don't know, they did really well with Rengoku versus the characters in JJK. They kind of go over things that we already kind of know from season 1, and the new character that is introduced in this movie, he's a cool character, but I don't know, it's just there's more things they could have done to better flesh out, to provide more just impact in general when things happen. This movie kind of give me like old anime movie vibe. Like when I say old, like Dragon Ball Z movie vibes or Naruto movie vibes, where you got this new character, even though the new character is the main character, but it kind of resolves around him, and you get some characterization, but it just, I don't know, it's just like, I feel like they could have just did a little bit better to make the story more emotional. The story don't suck though. It doesn't suck. This is something I'm gonna talk about on a podcast whenever my the other hosts watch the movie, and try to get down to like what really made, like how they feeling about it, and maybe they can help flesh out my thoughts on it. But like the antagonist was probably the most fleshed out antagonist, comparing it to Dragon Ball Super or Demon Slayer. But I guess when they introduced him, it's just, I don't know, it's just, they could have explored him a little more, maybe the movie needed some more time. Maybe that's what it was. I feel like it was, I don't know, it just wasn't rushed, but I just didn't really get the emotional value out of it that I thought we were. And I guess to explain myself further, I would have to go into deep spoiler territory, which I won't do in this video. But yeah, the story, it was okay, but it was kind of like little things here and there that kind of made the entire movie just not as entertaining as the other two. Because it also has like a very cliche anime thing that happens, like in movies anyway. The climax, or the last final bout, you know, that they always have in these movies, it was pretty cliche, and it just kind of like, not the main, because there's like multiple things happening. There's a part of it that just kind of just ends, you know. It was just like no real climax. It was just like, all right, and then like all this, you get to see like a lot of characters, you know, like okay, cool, and then like it's kind of pointless, you know. It's like, okay, and that was it, you know. It didn't serve a meaning, and that's what I think also brought it down for me, because it was cool to see what was going on. Like the fights were cool, like okay, cool, this is cool, but there was no real climax to it. It was just like, well, all right, done. Like after the main part was done, everything else was done. Like the store's closed, that was it. And it just didn't really hit like that. And all these little things just kind of bring it down. And like I said, the impact, which is another con, it just wasn't as impactful as like it could have been. The antagonist was cool, but he had a purpose, but he wasn't as impactful because I guess they didn't explore him as much. And his relationships with everyone else that he knew, like all that wasn't like served, like no, all that was purposeless. A lot of that stuff was just to serve, like it seems like fan service in a sense. And I just didn't really get that, like, oh, this is great, this is awesome. And I think why Dragon Ball Super and Demon Slayer were as good as they were is because they had like a couple characters in the whole movie, and they focused on that, and it just made it better. They they spent like 2 hours on just these characters. Versus JJK, we had a couple of characters, but then they kind of add like more characters and they kind of just throw them in there, and it's like, all right, cool, well, here they are, and then they disappear, like literally. Literally, there's like, okay. So yeah, and I guess that's what hurts the movie the most. It focuses on like, you know, these couple of characters, and the characters they focus on are very good. They're very well, and it fleshed out. Outside of the antagonist, I feel like he could have had a little bit more time, but you get to enjoy the characters that you know and the main character. Like, it was great, but then it's like when they throw all these extra people in there, and it's just kind of like for no reason, just other than set up good fights. I don't know. For me personally, I want more than that. The fights were very good though. Like, the fights were great in this movie. Like, if you're here for the fights, you gonna get that. But yeah, the story's okay. Okay. I think the main thing that hurt this movie was probably just how it's not really that impactful emotional wise. If you're not here for any of that, then this movie is for you. But yeah, I guess let me know what y'all think. You know, like I said, I think it's a 7 out of 10. I think out of the top 2 movies, which is Dragon Ball Broly, Super, whatever, Broly, Demon Slayer, I think this is definitely ranked 3rd. This brings the question, do I like this more than I think I do like this more than the My Hero movies. Yeah, I definitely like this more than the My Hero movies. The 2 My Hero movies, they are, and that's what I say when it's like traditional like anime movies. Those 2 movies are kind of like traditional shonen anime movies. Like they feel like all the other anime shonen movies we've seen before. New character, here's the antagonist, here's the climax. Really, JJK does follow that formula, just a slight bit different. Just a slight bit. It actually feels like episodes. It feels like actual episodes that you will see in an anime, while at the same time following that traditional shonen anime movie formula. If you haven't really watched anime movies before, then you're probably going to be excited for this. I've watched a lot of anime movies before, and this just doesn't do anything too different, and it's not that impactful in my opinion. But yeah, let me know down in the comments how y'all feel about this movie. I think it was dope. I personally don't think it should have been in the theaters. I could see somebody making the argument that it could have been, you know, because it does do some things that are better than a lot of other anime movies, but at the same time, I just wanted a little bit more, especially being a fan of the show. Like, this show to me is like one of the best animes that ever came out ever. Like, and it's just season 1 that just came out, so we're gonna see how season 2 perform. But I guess I had high hopes for this, because this is like, I enjoy this show way more than Dragon Ball Super, way more than Demon Slayer, like way more than anything outside of Attack on Titan. But yeah, this is up there for me, so I guess I had super high hopes, and they delivered, but not all the way through. But anyways, thank you for watching. Drop a like, and until next time, I'm out.